Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Golden State Hub and latest update, latest moving. So as you know that about, and what's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, you are in the right place for the latest NBA news, crazy trades, updates and real talk you won't find anywhere also. And I bring you first straight to the point breakdowns with you, no fluff, just pure best basketball energy. So before we get into today's video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on notification and join our squad, because you already know we don't miss big stories here. And let's go into the point.
The Golden State Warriors are once again at the center of major NBA trade conversations, and this latest development has fans buzzing across the league. Reports and growing speculation suggest that Steve Kerr has fully signed off on a potential move involving Lauri Markkanen, signaling that Golden State may finally be ready to make a bold roster shift in pursuit of another championship run. This is not just another rumor floating around social media for a few hours before disappearing. There's a real sense that the Warriors' front office is actively exploring major options, and Markkanen has become one of the most intriguing names connected to the organization. For months, one of the biggest questions surrounding Golden State has been simple: how much longer can this current core realistically compete at the highest level without adding another major piece? Stephen Curry is still playing at an elite level and continues to prove he can carry an offense, but the Western Conference has only gotten stronger. Teams like Denver, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and Dallas are building younger, longer, more athletic rosters that can challenge Golden State over a full playoff series. The Warriors know standing still is not an option. That is where Lauri Markkanen enters the conversation. The Utah Jazz forward has quietly developed into one of the most versatile offensive weapons in the NBA. Standing nearly 7 feet tall with elite shooting touch, strong rebounding instincts, and the ability to create his own shot, Markkanen offers exactly the kind of offensive flexibility the Warriors have lacked in recent seasons. He can stretch the floor, run in transition, attack mismatches, and provide secondary scoring pressure that would immediately reduce the burden on Curry. The idea of Markkanen in Golden State's system is what makes this potential move so fascinating. Steve Kerr's offense thrives on spacing, off-ball movement, quick decision-making, and positional versatility. Markkanen checks nearly every one of those boxes. He is not a ball-dominant player who would disrupt the flow of the Warriors' offense. Instead, he fits naturally into a motion-heavy system where cutting, relocating, and smart shot selection are essential. According to league insiders, Kerr has reportedly become increasingly open to the idea of restructuring parts of the roster if it means maximizing the final championship window around Curry. That is a significant shift. In previous seasons, Golden State often appeared hesitant to break apart its developmental timeline or sacrifice young assets. There was a balancing act between competing now and preparing for the future. But after inconsistent results and growing pressure in the Western Conference, that middle ground may no longer be sustainable. This is why Kerr's reported approval matters so much. Steve Kerr has always had major influence over roster construction conversations, especially when it comes to player fit and locker room chemistry. If he is giving the green light on a Markkanen pursuit, that suggests internal confidence that the move is worth the cost. And the cost could be massive. Utah is not expected to give away Markkanen cheaply. He is still viewed as a foundational talent and one of the league's best value stars relative to contract and production. Any realistic package would likely require Golden State to part with multiple assets, potentially including young players, draft capital, and salary-matching pieces. That immediately raises questions about names like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, future first-round picks, and possibly veteran contracts entering negotiations. Kuminga, in particular, remains a highly debated asset within Warrior circles. On one hand, His athletic upside is undeniable, and many still believe he can develop into a star. On the other hand, if Golden State is serious about winning another title during Curry's remaining prime years, waiting for long-term development may be a luxury they cannot afford. This is the classic NBA dilemma: potential versus proven production. Markkanen represents proven production. He has already shown he can be an all-star caliber contributor while handling significant offensive responsibility. Adding him would instantly give Golden State a legitimate second or third offensive pillar depending on nightly matchups. Imagine the lineup possibilities. Curry drawing double teams 30 feet from the basket, Markkanen spacing on the wing or popping into open threes, Draymond Green orchestrating from the high post, and the Warriors surrounding those pieces with defenders and cutters. It is easy to see why Kerr would be interested. But while the Markkanen news dominates headlines, another unexpected storyline is quickly gaining traction. Sotto is beginning to generate serious conversation. The 7'3" Filipino center has once again found himself in basketball discussions after recent performances and growing international attention. While he is not directly tied to the Warriors' Markkanen discussions in a major transactional sense, his name surfacing alongside Warriors-related conversations has sparked curiosity among fans. Sotto has always been a fascinating prospect because of his size, coordination, and unique global following. Few young players command the level of attention he receives from international basketball communities. Every update surrounding him spreads rapidly, especially throughout Asia and among NBA fans tracking emerging talent. Recently, Sotto has been making waves through his improved physicality, better movement, and flashes of skill development that continue to keep his NBA dream alive. His offensive touch around the basket, passing instincts, and shot-blocking potential remain areas that evaluators monitor closely. The biggest challenge for Sotto has never been talent alone. It has been consistency, strength, defensive pace, and adapting to the speed of modern NBA systems. But there is a growing sense that he continues to mature as a player, and organizations around the world are taking notice. For Warriors fans, Sotto's rise is particularly interesting because Golden State has historically shown willingness to evaluate unconventional developmental prospects. The organization values basketball IQ, passing ability, and team-oriented systems, areas where Sotto could theoretically fit if his overall readiness reaches the required level. Whether or not anything formal develops remains unclear, but his name generating attention during this period reflects how much global scouting continues to evolve. Still, the larger focus remains squarely on Markkanen. Golden State understands the urgency of this moment. Stephen Curry is not slowing down dramatically, but championship windows do not stay open forever. Every offseason decision now carries heightened importance. The Warriors can either continue making marginal adjustments around the edges or swing aggressively for another high-level piece. Markkanen represents the aggressive path. And unlike some stars who come with difficult personality adjustments or ball-dominant tendencies, Markkanen appears stylistically compatible with what Golden State needs. That is likely a major reason Kerr is reportedly comfortable with the idea. There is also a psychological factor here. A move for Markkanen would send a message to the entire league that Golden State is not accepting decline. It would signal that ownership, management, and coaching are fully aligned in maximizing what remains of the Curry era. Fans have been divided on whether the Warriors should go all in or preserve younger assets for a slower transition into the future. But internal decisions are becoming increasingly difficult to delay. Another mediocre season is not acceptable by Warriors standards. If this trade gains real momentum, expect the negotiation process to become extremely complicated. Utah has leverage. Golden State has urgency. Those two forces often create high-stakes negotiations. The Warriors' front office will need to decide how far it is willing to go. Is Markkanen worth sacrificing long-term flexibility? Is now the time to fully commit? And can Golden State construct a package strong enough to convince Utah without completely gutting roster depth? Those are the questions dominating league circles right now. Meanwhile, the inclusion of Sotto in basketball conversations only adds another layer of intrigue for fans paying close attention to international talent pipelines and future roster possibilities. One story is about immediate contention. The other is about long-term possibility. Together, they create a fascinating moment for Warriors followers. The coming weeks could define Golden State's next chapter. If Steve Kerr has indeed signed off on pursuing Markkanen, then this is no longer passive speculation. This is a meaningful signal that major organizational conversations are happening behind closed doors. And when the Warriors start seriously exploring blockbuster opportunities, the entire NBA pays attention. Because history has shown one thing clearly: when Golden State decides to make a move, it is rarely small. Now fans are waiting to see whether this is simply another dramatic offseason rumor or the beginning of a roster-changing deal that could reshape the Western Conference. One thing is certain: the Warriors are not done making noise, and with Markkanen at the center of speculation and Sotto building momentum, this story is only getting bigger.
Alright, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Let me know your thoughts down in comment section, because I read everything and I want to hear you take on this. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We are dropping content consistently, and trust me, you don't want to fall behind. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in next one. Thanks so much.